Hi everyone, so today I'm here to do my review of Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So Don't Look Back was a book I was impatiently anticipating ever since I heard about it because it's a Jennifer L. Armentrout book, and if you guys have been watching me, you know that I absolutely love anything that Jennifer L. Armentrout writes, so of course I was dying to get my hands on this one. Also, the fact that I heard it was a contemporary thriller made me even more excited because Jennifer L. Armentrout hasn't written anything like that before, and I was really looking forward to seeing how she was going to do it. So Don't Look Back follows 17-year-old Samantha, who disappeared one night with her best friend Cassie, and then she shows up with no memories or recollection of what happened to her. As Sam tries to fit back into her old life, she realises that she doesn't want to be part of it. The old Sam was such a horrible person, and the new Sam doesn't want anything to do with that. She's a completely changed person. And since she has no memories, she feels like she's been given a second chance to start over. She's also falling hard for an old childhood friend called Carson, but the old Sam treated him like shit. Although Sam has returned, Cassie is still missing. Someone knows what happened that night and is trying to keep Sam quiet, but Sam is determined to unlock her memories and find out what happened that night. But Sam's amnesia might be the only thing that's keeping her alive. As soon as I started Don't Look Back, I was hooked. We pick up with Sam and she's walking down the road and a police car pulls up in front of her, and she has no memories of what happened to her, no recollection of who she is or how she ends up with all the bruises, scrapes that she's got, and how she ended up with blood all over her. Samantha was a character that I really admired. She managed to stay strong and try to adapt to her old life even though she had no memories of it at all. Sam basically went through a complete personality change. No one believed that she was a different person because she was such a horrible person before, and no one was willing to believe that she changed basically overnight. But very quickly they all realised that she was a completely different person. She didn't have the same personality, but not everyone accepted the new Sam. I have to say, I really loved the new Sam. We were given glimpses of the old Sam when something triggered her memory, and the old Sam was a complete bitch. She was such a horrible person, and I'm really glad that her personality completely changed when she came back. I also admired her determination not to give up on Cassie, no matter how many people told her that Cassie was such a horrible person and that hardly anyone would miss her. Sam just couldn't give up on Cassie. She felt she owed it to her, and I really loved that determination. Carson Oritz is definitely Jennifer L. Armentrout's most swoon-worthy guy yet. Honestly, I didn't think anyone would be able to beat Damon Black from the Lux series, but Carson basically blows him out of the water. Okay, sure, Carson may have been slightly a jerk to Sam in the beginning, but he had a valid reason. Samantha had been a complete bitch to him for the past couple of years, so obviously he wasn't going to be nice to her just because she'd been missing. But then he realises that she's a completely different person, and they start to form a friendship again. Carson is the son of one of the workers that Samantha's dad has hired, so Samantha's mum doesn't approve of Carson being around and hanging about with her kids, but Carson really doesn't care, and neither do her kids. Carson is the sweetest, loveliest, most caring, charming and most adorable guy I've ever read about. I literally fell head over heels for him, just like Sam did. There were quite a few secondary characters as well. We had Sam's friends like Veronica and Candy, who were all complete bitches. I honestly couldn't believe that Sam used to be friends with them and used to be basically their leader. She was so different from them, and I just couldn't wrap my head around how she became friends with people like that. There's also Scott, who's Sam's brother. From what I could gather, Scott and Sam hadn't been particularly close before because Samantha was such a bitch. But they grew extremely close as the book went on. Scott was always there for Samantha, and he always had her back. He was such a fantastic brother. We also had Julie, who's Scott's girlfriend and is one of Sam's ex-best friends. Honestly, we never really found out the real reason what went down between Sam and Julia that stopped Sam being friends with her, but I'm so glad they got a second chance to become friends. Julie's such a lovely character, and I loved seeing her and Sam bond again. And then we had Dell, who is Sam's boyfriend. Right from the start, I wasn't really sold on Dell. He was really creeping me out, and it was so obvious that he was lying to her and she just didn't see it. I'd never warmed up to Dell at all. So now onto the storyline. This book was a complete mindfuck. I honestly had no idea what the hell was going to happen, and I was basically suspicious of every single character in the book. There were actually times when I was reading the book with narrowed eyes trying to figure characters out, and I was questioning them, and I was like, was it you? Did you do it? What are you hiding? So yeah, this book completely, I adored the whole mystery aspect. I adored trying to figure out who it was, and yes, that was a great part. But straight off the bat, the story hooked me in. A girl and her best friend go missing, and one shows up covered in blood, scrapes and bruises with no memories. Who wouldn't be curious to find out what the hell was going to happen? I really loved unravelling everything with Sam and finding out more about everything. I also really loved discovering more about Sam as she discovered everything. We were getting to learn about Sam along with her because she has no memories of who she was before, and she's rediscovering things and learning everything about herself, and we were getting to learn everything along with her, so I really loved that. I also really loved seeing the flashes of the old Sam when her memory was triggered. Even though the old Sam was a bitch, it was still really interesting getting to see that side of Sam and seeing some of the stuff that happens before she lost her memories. They all helped me get to know Sam a bit better. Finding out what happened to Cassie was the main part of the storyline, and I was just as desperate as Sam to find out what the hell actually happens that night. The ending was so freaking crazy. My jaw hit the floor when I worked out a split second before Sam did who it actually was that had done it. Everyone in the book was a suspect in my eyes, but I was still so freaking shocked when we actually found out who it really was. I kind of just sat and stared at my Kindle for a bit going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, because it was fantastic. There'd been a moment a chapter or two before when I suspected who it was and I was about to cry because I really thought it was them. Turned out it wasn't, but I was so damn shocked by who it actually was. Jennifer L. Armentrout sure knows how to throw a curveball. Honestly, I ended up in tears at the ending because we finally got to find out what happened, and it was so emotional, and yeah, it was such an amazing but shocking ending. The epilogue at the end left me with a massive grin on my face, and it was such a perfect way to end the book. Overall, Don't Look Back has definitely been my favourite of Jennifer L. Armentrout's books so far because it was so amazing. It was full of mystery and suspense. I was suspecting nearly every single character, and it kept me on my toes right until the very end. I completely loved it. Don't Look Back definitely got a 5 out of 5 stars from me. Also, because I love this book so much, I'm doing a giveaway of it over on my blog. The link will be in the description box below if you guys want to enter that, but I really suggest you do because it's such an amazing book and everyone needs to read it. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later. Bye everyone.